Welcome back to Inside Adelaide. Well, West Lakes was alive with the sound of cheer and applause last week as the National Rowing Championships and Interstate Regatta were run. It was the first time Adelaide had hosted the event in 11 years, so officials and organisers were eager to show all of what the city had to offer. Emma Davis reports.
The challenge was on again as over 2,000 of Australia's best rowers gathered at the West Lakes rowing course. Athletes came from all over Australia to take part in the 7-day rowing regatta, and many were pleased with what the city had to offer.
Oh, it's wonderful. Just look at it here. This is perfect.
A record number of entrants came from all areas of the rowing community, from national and state squads to universities, schools and clubs. Triple Olympic gold medalist Drew Ginn was competing at West Lakes over the week, one of his first returns to competitive rowing in 2 years. Following his first placing in the senior men's 4, with fellow Beijing Olympics gold medalist Duncan Free on Sunday, his sights are set on a 4th gold medal in as many Olympics. But he is also keen to pass on some valuable advice to younger rowers about competing at a high level.
Look, I think the biggest thing is making sure that you don't underestimate the standard of the competition. It's easy to sort of think that it's the Australian Championships and it's not the Olympic Games, but I think you've got to go about preparing for every race like it is, trying to do your best race. And we're not in the best shape of our lives yet. We're building up over the year, and we do that in Slovenia later on in the year.
The Australian Championships, as well as the National Selection Trials in Sydney next month, serve as important final opportunities to showcase what the athletes are capable of in order for them to be selected in the national team. This team would then travel to the World Rowing Championships in Slovenia later this year, and ultimately the 2012 London Olympics, less than 18 months away.
Yeah, the Olympics is, it's every rower's pinnacle, so everything you do up to and including World Championships is, setting a stage to just creep it up and up a bit just for the next Olympics. And there's some really tough fields out there today, so yeah, it's always an honour to compete against those guys and just see what we've got.
South Australian athletes were pleased with the change of competition venue, with most never having had the opportunity to compete at a national level at home, but say there are two sides to a home ground advantage.
It's, I think, harder to get in the zone because you're going at home, doing normal things, relaxing with your parents, you're not away in a foreign environment, and so that makes it a bit harder. Home ground advantage, yes, there's, because the course has houses and everything, you know where to push, you can feel it a lot more, and I think you have a bit more confidence.
A member of the Sassy rowing squad and the 2010 Singapore Youth Olympics, Aldersea was also pleased with the standard of the course and said the different conditions help prepare athletes for unknown water types when in foreign countries.
I think it's a very good course. I think it just makes up for a variety of always going to Penrith and everything. And everyone's complaining about the water being a bit bumpy or not completely glass. And overseas, it's not going to be completely glass. And when you row, you have to row in any conditions, so I think that it'll be a lot better, and I think Adelaide has done a fabulous job of hosting it.
The entire regatta culminates in the King's Cup, which has been in contention since 1921 and is awarded to the winner of the senior men's 8 race. This was awarded to New South Wales, making it a record 4 years in a row.
The 3 last days are the most intense, and that's where the medals come. The standard of racing is sensational.
The Queen's Cup is presented to the winner of the senior women's 8, with the Victorian crew taking it home for the 7th year in a row, despite choppy conditions. Victoria took overall first place in the International Championship, closely followed by Queensland 2 points behind. Last held in 1999, the event returned to Adelaide following a multi-million-dollar upgrade of the 2,000-metre-long course to meet international standards. South Australian rowing officials are now hopeful that the state can hold many more national and international events in the future.
Some of the upper echelon of Australian rowing, they're all here now, and they've been so impressed by this. They've already talked to some of our South Australian officials, I believe, about the possibility of putting in for international events on this course.
Emma Davis, Inside Adelaide.
Recently, the fast food industry has come under fire after studies revealed an increase in diet problems amongst teenagers. But can the industry be held so accountable for the number of overweight teens?
Australian adolescents have been labelled ticking time bombs. 1 in 4 teenagers are overweight, and there are fears that this generation may struggle to outlive their parents. When it comes to finding a reason for the problem, Most fingers point directly at the fast food industry.
A lot of teenagers are probably getting a whole lot more energy than they need, but they may not be getting the nutrients they require, such as calcium and iron, that are essential for their growth and development at this stage.
New regulations were recently announced which will force fast food chains to display the number of kilojoules next to each product.
The other term that's used very commonly here in Australia is calories, but kilojoule is the metric system and it defines how much energy is in a certain amount of food.
But amongst the blame towards the fast food industry, there are ways in which some chains are helping to provide solutions.
I've been involved in different sports, football and athletics, and most of the fast food chains put a lot of money back in.
Adelaide Hills Little Athletics coordinator Ron Axford has been involved with the Little Athletics program for 10 years and understands how important sponsorship from fast food chains is towards supporting physical activity.
The event that we're at today, athletes compete in 5 different events, and it's totally sponsored by McDonald's, and then they run the cross-country season right through the year.
Along with being the major sponsor of this Little Athletics event, McDonald's also enabled some remote athletes to participate.
My mum applied me for a travel grant which McDonald's is giving to people that live 100 kilometres or 200 kilometres away.
On occasions like this, it's really special to be able to have the opportunity to come to the city. Unfortunately, with the price of fuel increasing and stuff, it's very important that McDonald's encourages young children to participate, especially those from the country.
McDonald's sponsorship also includes the junior leagues affiliated with Football Federation SA and the SANFL. However, chains such as McDonald's are still blamed for rising obesity levels because they offer unhealthy food to adolescents.
It's what we call empty calories. So you're getting a lot of calories or a lot of energy, the same thing, without getting a lot of other vitamins and minerals and things that you need to help your body go and grow.
McDonald's were unavailable for comment, but released a statement saying that they were committed to working with nutritionists to provide healthier options and meaningful nutrition information. They also support kilojoule labelling on their menu boards as a way of improving the health of adolescents.
Most fast food chains now offer healthier options including fruit, salads, wraps and multigrain rolls, with some earning the Heart Foundation tick of approval.
It's all about personal responsibility and, making your own decisions, but I guess at the same stage you need to be informed about what is in those foods and what the level of kilojoules in. So I think it's probably both industry, the food industry and the individual both have responsibilities in this situation.
So while fast food outlets still offer unhealthy options, there are ways which adolescents can turn around their health before the ticking time bomb runs out. Tom Johnson, Inside Adelaide.
Don't go away because after the break, we'll look at last week's Adelaide Cup.